Hello everybody and welcome to the Blues Knot channel, and it has finally happened, guys. It is official after almost 4 years of just non-stop talking in the MLS media and also in other soccer media of whether or not if Miami is going to get a team in the MLS. It is official, guys. Today, MLS has just announced that Miami will get an MLS team. They will finally fulfill David Beckham wishes of owning an MLS team. And obviously this is a pretty big news right now, and certainly for a lot of people it's sort of kind of a shocking news, the fact that today is finally the day that the announcement has happened, because it feels like it's been kind of overdue in terms of this announcement. It feels like it's been just delayed for so long that it looked like it was never going to happen. It looked like it was just going to run into a brick wall, but eventually it did happen. Eventually Miami does get a team, like I said, and eventually David Beckham does get his wish to own an MLS team. Now, for me, when I look at this situation and just my overall reaction to this news is that I'm kind of having a mixed reaction in terms of Miami getting a team, and there are good and bad things. Let's start with the good thing that I see with Miami getting a team. The good thing is that now we don't really need to hear any more story about whether or not Miami is going to get a team or not. I mean, I'm like one of many people right now that is just getting so fed up and getting so tired with hearing this news talk about whether or not if Miami is going to get a team, and how they're getting very close to getting a deal done, and eventually they're going to make an announcement, and it turns out it's just been a complete lie after all. And I think that probably is maybe kind of adds into why people think that this news is kind of shocking, because I know that a couple of weeks ago there was a couple of news media that say that David Beckham potentially will announce that he will get his Miami team in January, and people would just kind of laugh at it because that's been the things that he's been saying for the last 4 years, and every time it's been kind of a lie, and every time it just does not happen, and it feels like it just keeps stuck in this cycle of him saying that it's getting close, but it's not really getting close at all, and that it's just kind of delay. And today, eventually, it did happen. It kind of shocked a lot of people that for once, those news media and those news outlet, and for once David Beckham kind of stick to his word that he is gonna announce it very soon. But yeah, that of course is one of the reasons why I'm happy that finally I don't have to hear those news. Now, the things that I am not happy about it is the overall announcement and the way the announcement kind of go, because I actually watched the announcement. I actually just watched the announcement a couple of minutes ago, and it looked very vague. Okay, it looked very general, even more general to the Nashville expansion a couple of months ago. And basically, it just say that, well, finally we have made it to the MLS. We, after our long kind of dreams and kind of struggle that we had in the last 4 years, we have finally made this announcement. But now we don't know what to do, because we got awarded this franchise. We don't know exactly when are we gonna play, although technically David Beckham did kind of said that they are expected to play in 2020, but we don't know what our logo is because we never think about it, since we just really want to get an MLS team. Oh, and by the way, we haven't even figured out if our stadium situation is gonna get fixed or not. I mean, we still haven't figured out whether or not we should just start building our stadium right away after this announcement, because we're still kind of having some problem with the city mayor about the situation with the land and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, it was just very general as hell, and that's why a lot of people are not happy about it, because it doesn't feel like an announcement. It just feel like it kind of a confirmation that you're of course getting an MLS team, but there's nothing after that. There's no like just stadiums that where exactly. Well, there we know where exactly it's gonna be. It's gonna be near like the downtown area, but we don't know if it's gonna be built at all or when exactly it's gonna get built, and we don't know what the logo is gonna be like. Although to be fair, I have seen a couple of people have kind of say that it probably might be the same color as the color of Miami Vice, which I think it would be a great idea. I mean, Miami, whenever you think of Miami, a lot of people talk about the Miami Vice color because it pretty much just defines what Miami is. And if they, of course, go with that color, then yeah, that would be a very interesting color. I think the NASL club, God, I never able to pronounce that right, but that club that is currently based in Miami kind of use a little bit of that kind of Miami Vice kind of color theme, so maybe the MLS team is going to use sort of the same thing, although I think that might be just kind of like copying on the other team. I don't know, but like I said, it's just really, really vague with this situation, and unfortunately, we are going to continue to have news about it. We're going to continue to have news to talk about what their logo is going to be like. And at this point, I just don't want to hear like the word Miami and MLS together for a while, because it's been just so exhausting to hear this news over and over again in the news media. It's just so annoying. It's almost like as if one of your friend is telling you that there is a big surprise that he's gonna give to you, and you of course are excited about it, but he's just gonna keep repeating over and over again, and you eventually just kind of get bored of it because you don't know when this surprise is gonna happen and you're just not interested at all. That of course is what this situation is like. But yeah, that of course is my overall reaction. Now, one thing I will also say, and I think the last thing I will mention in this video, is that this has a lot of big implication in terms of how the expansion race is going to be. This is I think for both Sacramento and Cincinnati, this is sort of good and bad. Now, the good thing for Sacramento is that if Miami will get a franchise in 2020, well, not if, but when they do play in 2020, that means that the Eastern Conference will technically have 13 teams, because Nashville, of course, will be the 12th Eastern Conference team, and Miami will be the 13th Eastern Conference team, which means that it will bring the total up to 13 Eastern Conference team and 12 Western Conference team. And knowing MLS, they tend to like to balance the team out in terms of both conference. So if that is the case, then the only two teams that is legitimately running this expansion race that is going to be fit in the Western Conference is going to be Sacramento. So that, of course, might be a little bit good news for them. Although the bad news for Sacramento in terms of this is that what if Columbus does move to Austin? Because this kind of Miami situation also kind of have a little connection in terms of the Columbus situation, because if Columbus moved to Austin, of course will be in the Western Conference. That means the Western Conference will get 13 teams, and the Eastern Conference will lose a team. They will be down to 10 teams, and by the time Nashville and Miami is going to get a team, it's going to be 12 Eastern Conference team and 13 Western Conference team, which means that Cincinnati will be joining the MLS, since MLS want to make them the Eastern Conference team. They want to balance out the way Eastern Conference and Western Conference is in the league. So yeah, that might be bad news for Sacramento, and that of course might be good news for Cincinnati. And it's kind of vice versa with the way how if Columbus does not move to Austin, and how that will be sort of bad news for Cincinnati and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, that is one of the things that I kind of look at this in terms of how it will affect the expansion race. But yeah, overall, let me know in the comments below what you think of this news? Do you like the fact that finally Miami is going to get a team? And what do you think? How much of a effect will this do to the expansion race? And whether if this kind of news with Miami being in the MLS, would this actually favorite Sacramento, or would this actually favorite Cincinnati? Let me know in the comments below what it is. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys leave a like, smash that subscribe button, and yeah, I of course will see you guys next time.